What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we've got something that I've been waiting on. I actually slammed this on my wish list a bit ago. It's a little title called Romestead, and it's approaching the zombie apocalypse from a completely different direction. This is going to be one of those games, actually what it reminds me of when I was watching trailers and footage of this title, what it kind of reminds me of is Graveyard Keeper, but sort of set in Bronze Age Rome, which has been ransacked completely by ravenous undead hordes. And so you're trying to build up a Roman villa while withstanding a huge amount of zombies that are trying to wipe you out. And so that seems very compelling to me. Normally I'm not like a huge fan of Roman style stuff, but in the case of this game, I think that the juxtaposition between those 2 points, like how often do we get anything set in Rome with, you know, centurions and legates and stuff like that where they're fighting against zombies? Almost never do we get that blend right there. So I figured we'd take a look today. The embargo drops this morning. We're going to play it for about 30 or 40 minutes. We're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather pass on. That's also perfectly fine. If you wanted to check the game out further, they will have a demo available during the Steam Next Fest, which I think is next week. I'll put a link down below to the Steam page. That way you can check it out and wish list it if this seems like the kind of thing that's right up your alley. And then, of course, on top of that, you can find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links down there just in case you wanted to give them the old spicy click. But without wasting any more time on the jibber jabber, let's go ahead and start off a game. So we've got to create our character. All right, well, let me fiddle this stuff together real fast. So now that I've got him all put together, we get to decide what profession we want to be. So a woodcutter is going to be better at woodcutting. Shocker. Who would have ever guessed that a woodcutter would be good at woodcutting? We've got a miner. We've got a mechanicus. It looks like we also have a gladiator, a legionary. It looks like we have a guy that was in the phalanx. We've got a lobber over here, so I'm guessing he's kind of like a slinger or whatever from back in that time period. Fun factoid, back in the day where they used slings, they would use these clay bullets. Like, it was basically like a lead-bearing clay that they got from specific locations. And the fact that it was like lead-bearing clay or like lead-bearing stones meant that you could carve things into your sling stones. They used to carve all kinds of hilarious stuff into their ammunition, just like modern soldiers today. There was one that I think in old Italian or old Latin, it said, "I hope this hits you in the dick." And I always thought that that was one of the funniest things ever, because it shows that human beings never change. It's been 2,000 years, and guys fighting each other are like, man, I hope this hits you right in the pecker. I'm going to go with the legionary, because I think that puts us on theme for what the game is. And so now that we have a legionary, obviously I'm going to name myself something simple: Splatius. I am Splatius. And so we will save right there, and we are ready to rock. So here we are. We have awakened inside the lavish land of Aldentania. Acquiring material. Yeah, I figure I'll probably figure that out. Who is this person over here? You need a pickaxe to mine rocks and... Well, I was more interested in the large floating figure in front of me that appears to be terrifying. Like, if a 20-foot tall woman that was like roughly the color of seafoam showed up, wielding a spear the size of 2 men stacked, I'd be kind of nervous about it, but maybe that's just me. So first things first, they're going to make me do what I always got to do. We got to go gather some stuff from around here. It looks like we're going to need a whole bunch of flint, and we're going to need a whole bunch of wooden sticks before we're going to be able to get started inside the game. But the first thing you really notice about this title is that the pixel art just absolutely blazes off the screen. This is one of those games that looks really attractive just straight out of the box, like utterly gorgeous. Let's run around for a minute and see if we can find anything around here. Luckily, it looks like there's loads of objects that I can just spear to death all over the place, and that should provide me with the stuff that I need in order to get this done. There are little details here too, like when I click, the cursor actually moves. When I attack, it actually like swings the sword. Kind of interesting. I don't know how that'll work out for accuracy later on down the line inside the game, but for right now, it is kind of cool looking and attractive. Let me find this stuff. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, with some of these rocks, I don't have the tools to break them, but if you pick them up and you throw them like a wall, they'll actually break. Like, the item itself loses durability while you're doing that. I don't know if more of them will come out of this right here, but we can give it a try. Does that thing break, or is it like a building material? I don't know what it is. It says it's got 3 out of 3 HP, but I don't know how useful that's gonna be. Alright, so now that I've collected the stuff, we can claim our reward, and it wants me to throw all this stuff into my individual slots. Oh, I've got a gladius as well, or is that what I'm crafting at the moment? Either way, we've got a pickaxe right there, so I'll go ahead and take that. And then it looks like I can also afford to make one of these, so I'll make an axe as well, because that'll make life a little bit simpler. I'll no longer have to run around like a caveman chucking stuff at walls and just hoping for result, you know what I mean? Now that we've got that covered, it's going to give us a few more recipes that we can play around with. So we've got wooden shields, we've got bows, we've got an arcuballista. Okay, I've never heard of that before. But sure, it's an arcuballista. Who hasn't heard of the arcuballista? Obviously one of the most famous things from Roman culture. So after a whole lot of staring at it, I was like, how in the hell do I get my axe and my pickaxe into my hands? You don't, strangely enough. I don't think I've ever seen a survival game that does this. But what the game actually does is it modifies whatever your main hand weapon is with damage towards that material. So like I couldn't chop trees before, but now I can. You see how our damage has a little like axe icon on it basically? That's the difference. What is that giant bird that's overhead? Nah, I hate that bird shadow, dude. Are there like phoenixes and stuff flying around? That thing is ginormous, dude. Archaeopteryx over here causing all kinds of issues. I got my first log out of a tree. I don't really know what else to do with it. It says I gotta chop down a tree and use the stump as like a sawhorse. So I'm gonna give that a go real fast and see if that actually sorts the situation out. There's only like one tree around here that looks sturdier than all the rest. And so we'll see if the placement works right. It did. Oh, and there you go. You can shred things into wood planks. I would have liked to have seen a little bit better of an animation right there, but it got the job done. I get the feeling this game is designed from the ground up. Just little decisions like having your axe and your pickaxe damage add on to your main hand weapon instead of being something you need to hot swap in between. I'm going to take a rough stab at it and say that this is one of those games that's going to have a very, very smooth, sort of streamlined, casual experience to it when it comes to your UI interactions. Just like we do in every other game. Oh my god, lightning struck the ground. But I do like that it left a little crater right there. That's kind of badass, dude. It can actually, deform and destroy the terrain a little tiny bit. Let's make a workbench. I don't know what that's going to cost me. It's going to cost me stuff that I already have, and so I can live with that. We'll put that on our 1 key, and maybe I'll just put all of my tools inside this ruin over here. I'm probably not going to build my house in this area, but I am going to keep this as, my little work shed area to keep my living area nice and clean. So the first thing we have to make is a town core. Okay, let's make a town core. I'll probably put the town core right there. There we go. That'll work. And then I think we have to come up here and we actually have to add the supplies to it. So it needs 1 rock to be added to it. There we go. We'll add a rock to the pile. And I think there's a log down here somewhere that I left laying by the way. Oh no, I chopped down. Okay. Everything that had to do with a log I have already refined. But the good news about that is you can pretty easily source a new... Is that rat hostile? Oh my god, yep, he's very hostile. Alright, well we killed him and we got small game meat. I think that might be a little bit of an understatement. That rat was the size of a pit bull. I figure the haunch that would come off that thing actually be kind of chunky. Oh, what do I do here? Oh, okay, so we gotta play a little mini game to build this thing on up. Yeah! Okay, it's all nice and done now, and our town core is good to go. We have no citizens inside of our town. We've got to name it. What am I going to name it? I'll just call it Splatania. There we go. We now live in the province of Splatania. Construct and interact with an altar. Okay, well, what do we got going on as far as altars are concerned? This will unlock quests from the gods. Okay, so yeah, that should probably be right next to our flag, I suppose. It's gonna be in the town center so that I can go right to the middle of town and I can talk to Jupiter or whoever it is that I need to get a hold of in order to make stuff happen. You, come here. Ow! Dude, he just dashed straight through it. He's a man on a mission. And I needed rocks for this. There's a bunch of big boulders up there, so I think we'll be all right. I also need to clear out the roughage, though. We need to make kind of a footprint for our town. Rock number 1, yep. Rock number 2, and then we'll go grab rock number 3. All right, well, we got a fancy pants altar over here now, so that's cool. We now have, hey, we founded our first town. Build housing for your citizens before you head out. As you explore, you'll find survivors that can be recruited into your town. Okay, and we've also got to build defenses to defend ourselves from threats. Fair enough. It kind of seems like there's going to be threats. So what other stuff is inside of here before I head out? We've got a house. That's pretty easy to build. We've got a lumber yard, which will give us a lumberjack who actually automatically goes out and does the job for you. Or we can do an insula. An insula is probably some kind of like flop house or maybe some kind of like hostel or something else like that. Oh, we got a bunch of... I didn't realize that there are other different tabs up inside of here that we can play around with. Okay. Well, I mean, let's get houses first, because I think having citizens is going to be a good idea. But I need to clear this area of all the stuff that's laying around, and I think that's actually going to be, like, quite the task. So I'll get back with you in just a second. Ooh, I can talk to her now. The ghostly woman, wanderer, you walk among the remnants of an age turned to dust. Is this Minerva? Is that who this is supposed to be? Who are you? I don't remember. I feel like I'm just a memory, an echo of something that I once was. I have some powers left, but they're waning. I can still remember some ways around the world, so if you need any help to survive, feel free to ask. Okay, can I help you in any way? If your senses have been keen, surely you must have seen a giant owl flying overhead from time to time. Oh, it's an owl! Gotcha! I thought that it was just going to be some kind of monstrous bird that was going to slip down and eat my flesh. There's something in me that calls to it. I don't know why yet, and I know this is a great task, but if you could bring it down, could you offer its eyes on the altar? Okay, thank you. So you want me to murder the owl? It's not really bothering anybody. Oh, there's our first zombie. Hold on. We gotta do something about this. Chop them up and take them down. Perfect. We did loot a bone out of the dead guys, so that's nice. Oh, they go after just about anything they can find on the map. Okay, well, I'm going to be like a cornball and just third party that entire fight. Can I pick up their helmets or anything? I would love to have a helmet. It said that I was a legionary. I feel like I should have like my segmentata and everything ready to go, but I guess not. We do need to build houses and things, so like maybe we'll get a couple of those blueprinted out. Like, let's get a house, and like, how far over here can I go before I run out of house space? I'm gonna leave room for a road. That way we can have like a couple of houses over here. It looks like I need to like build out some more stuff though and get rid of some stumpy things. Well, I don't know how to remove the stumps, so that's going to be a problem we have to contend with. But either way, things are moving along. We're at least going to get one house built before we go any further, because I think it would be a good idea to have people around here that can, like, man the walls, because I don't know if you noticed, but zombies are coming out of the woodworks right now. I've already seen, like, 5 or 6 of them, and they roll in packs like we're in I Am Legend or something. All right, house, let's get you built. It's empty right now. It won't build with that right there. There we go. You got to have, like, the whole footprint cleared. I kind of wish it did it automatically when you place stuff, but I suppose that that's life. What? They have interiors? Do I get to clack out the interiors, too, and actually, like, decorate and, like, put little tables and things like that inside of there? Be kind of sick, dude. Let me see if I can do it right now. So, like, can I craft beds or anything else like that? So if we had furniture around here, we've got farmland, we've got a wooden bucket for carrying clay and liquids, we've got a manual mill that will allow us to make flour, and we can grind olives and grapes into a paste. I did notice that olives dropped off a tree over here, but olive making is actually a really, really large-scale project. My parents have olive trees on their property that drop these black olives, but they're poisonous. You can't, like, eat them straight off the tree. But the secret to it is you put thousands of them in long, thin Tupperware containers that are full of a brining solution. And so we used to have entire racks in the garage that were full of those Tupperware containers, and they just sit there and they brine, I think, for like 6 months. And that gets like all the poison out of them, and then they're eatable just like any other delicious sundry that you might desire. There we go. Our first little pack of houses are now done. That way we have some place that we can put our citizens once we go out and find them. And it seems like we have some ground to cover because it's a big, big world out here, and it's full of things. Big world, a lot of smells. Let's go ahead, and I need to cook that food right there. But we've got chanterelles, and we've got some other things that heal us. So I do think that that progress bar looks a little bit cheap compared to the rest of the game. Let's grab that. It looks utilitarian to me. You know, like that right there looks very, very nice, but the actual casting bar doesn't look too crazy. We've got crawler zombie. Okay, yep. Don't like that. How long is the reach? Oh my god, they hit hard, dude. These guys are not playing with me right now. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more food so that we can regenerate a tiny bit more effectively. And the mega downshot there is that they're not really dropping anything that's altogether that useful either. We do have some kind of house over here, but there's another zombie around the back of it, but it looks like he's pinned and stuck. A treasure chest? Yeah, dude, let's get the treasure chest. What you got for me? So we have quadrants. Okay. We've got coal. That'll probably be helpful at some point. We've got a health potion right there and a little bit of the woolies. Can I take that chest with me and use it for storage? Hell yeah. I'm going to stab. Nope, we're not doing that. I'm on to you. I know your game. There we go. Drop. I don't know what that thing is. It looks like it's just a guy that's wearing a rock on his head. Okay, yeah, and he throws the rock at us. Is he going to throw the... I can't hit him. He's too speedy. There we go. We dropped him, but he didn't give us anything useful. We've got like another button mushroom up here that I'd be okay with harvesting. Ooh, a whole bunch of resources over here, like logs and all kinds of stuff. And it looks like there's a satyr or something up here, too. How vicious is the satyr? Is he going to try to, like, murder me violently? I only do 2 damage to him, and he's got a lot of health. It may be in our best interest not to get tagged by him. I do like the blood and stuff that leaks out of him while we're killing him. Oh, look at that. He got a little bit of pocket change on him. All right. We're diversifying in the game world. We're getting more financially developed. We're going to make some investments, I think. Can you... What the hell is that thing? Is that a bush with boobs? I think it's like a crab or something. I don't know. At first glance, it looked like it had boobies. What are you trying to do right now? You're just adding on into this whole thing, huh? Strange crab meat. Fair enough. Can I get that copper with the pickaxe that I currently have? I bet you there's a chest inside that little shed right there, too. Copper? Copper actually has to be hand-loaded. I'm going to need to get carts or something then. That's what's going to happen here. If I break this open, how much HP does the door have? Doesn't look like there's anything inside of there. What's up with the well? Can I do any... Oh, we got a bucket. Okay, so we can fill the bucket up with water. It's a good place to start. We're regenerating ever so slightly right now, just due to the fact that we got food running through our system. But isn't it kind of weird how many survival games we've been getting lately? I swear to God, this is not something that I planned. It's just like all the survival games are coming out right now. We went through like 2 years of maybe a survival game every 6 months, and now we're getting a survival game 3 times a week. I'll take it. It's better than the never-ending deluge of card games, I'll tell you that. So what do I want to do now? I guess I got to find a villager. Let me see if there's anything slightly better I can make with my workbench over here. I would think that we're absolutely going to need some kind of food storage if we want this whole thing to work out. So I'll just plop it down right there. I don't really care that the ghost lady is in the way, but it looks like we're mostly just making infrastructure for whoever we eventually rescue. I also placed the footprint for a leather worker and a lumber yard, but those buildings are not going to be crazy useful until we go get some citizens. So let's see if we can find some citizens of the Empire. Ooh, this looks promising. I found a chest on the way over here. It gave me a new Asta, so like I hit harder than I did previously. But this guy over here, this has got to be one of the citizens. What's up, buddy? I am looking for a home. Do you have a place that I can stay at? I do. I absolutely do. Seems like you have no space for me yet. I will wait until you come back. Yes, I do. I have a space for you. What are you talking about? I got 2 houses. So I think it's not the houses that give you villager slots. I think it's the buildings that give you villager slots. So I'm going to try to get this lumber mill done. There's no trees around it, and it had like a little radius or whatever. But I'm going to try to build it real fast and see if that lets me add somebody to my society. So like I'm going to clear these bushes. Okay, and clear that little rock right there. Clear that out. All right, now we're looking golden. Let's get this thing built. Yup, slam it together, baby. Let's get her done. Dunzo. We now have a lumber mill. Okay, and the lumber mill actually has like a full-on interior too. Cool. So this building is located in the plains biome. There's production, there's miscellaneous, so I think that's going to be what allows us to add more people to our society, just to make us a little more functional. But I don't know what the radius is going to look like on this thing, because it was catastrophically small. It should definitely be bigger than it currently is in this build. Like, it barely goes around the outside of the model. But my hope is that, like, it just needed that footprint to be there, and then the actual radius is quite a bit larger. That'd be my hope anyways. And looky there, now we've got a citizen slot. Very nice. Okay, so now that we've got a citizen slot, I think I can sort this out a little bit better. I'm going to bulldoze that entire ruin at some point, but for right now, it's not really like a fundamental concern. It can be there for a minute, but I'm about to destroy some history after I get done with actually building up my town center. Then again, I suppose at this time in history, it's not really history yet, is it? It's just kind of, oh, that thing doesn't want to break? Well, you're gonna break because I want your quadrants. Anyways, in this time period, it's just like a pile of building materials. Sir, would you like to join me? Having a hard time. There we go. Were you also in the city when the undead attacked? Yes. Awful creatures, the undead. I hope you escaped unharmed. Yeah, you can go to town. There we go. Oh, he doesn't walk there. He just, like, teleports. That's fine. I'm gonna break all his stuff real quick, though, to see if I can get anything good. A cooked meat cut. Looks like there's, like, a forest biome over here, too. Okay. Am I ready for said forest biome? Or is forest biome gonna, like, whoop my ass? I feel like it's probably gonna be the latter case. It's probably a good idea to get the food storage done now that we actually have a guy that lives here. So maybe I'll look into that. Like, it's only gonna take me, like, 4 logs to get it done. Hopefully, he starts contributing to the log pile, but I don't know exactly how fast all this stuff regrows. It looks like he's wandering around. Is he actually gonna chop a tree? Do I have to, like, assign him? I probably have to assign him. Oh, no, he auto-assigned himself. Okay, well, he's acquiring lumber as we speak. That should ease up a little bit on my overall workflow, except that there's not really that many trees around here. So hopefully he's capable of going out a little bit further, because by the time I chop down the trees to clear the space to put that thing down, the radius on it wasn't large enough that there were any trees left, you feel me? Which is like, Unfortunately, nighttime's now here too, which means we've got the undead to contend with, and I haven't quite had time to, like, build up walls or palisades or anything else yet to hold them back, so we're kind of going to have to wait this one out. I do think that food storage is incredibly important, though. People like to eat food. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't like eating food. Food's one of my favorite things in the entire world. It's one of those things I look forward to every single day. So there's our communal pantry right there, and it looks like I can throw stuff in here just to feed people, maybe? So it'll take the mushrooms. It looks like it only really likes refined foods, things that can't be refined any further. Oi! What are you doing over here? Get out of my town. Get out of here. You don't belong here, fool. Bounce along. And looky there. I think he went and he's eating out of it right now. I actually don't see a difference, but, like, I think he musta. And it looks like the lumber just gets loaded onto this little paddock right here whenever he's done. I can live with that. That seems all right. We're going to want to get a leather worker up and running, too, before too long, just so we have all the basics covered. That way we can up-armor ourselves. I don't know if I get to control how much stuff my little guys wear or whatever, but we're going to be a warrior society. A spear in every hand. Grab that right there. And the additive benefit here is that I cannot stand like a cluttered workspace, so this is also clearing out all the debris and detritus so that we can get like a nice town footprint before too long. There we go. Now we've got a leather worker rocking too. So I've got another spot I can assign somebody to. I think we are going to have to go back out, though, and find another villager. I haven't gone anywhere to the east, so my hope is that the east is very, very profitable when it comes to finding human beings. But we do have wolves and boars and all kinds of things out here just sort of cruising around. Ow. Boar hurt, too. All right, we dead now. We got leather out of the deal, which is nice. There we go. Give me a little bit more leather. I gotta wait for my regeneration to take. Oh, we got some kind of undead hive over here. Oh, there's a lot of them. Yup, run for it. Just fall back a little bit. All right, so you guys right there. I think that one only had like, oh my God, there's so, oh Jesus. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of undead out here. Would be. Oh, you gotta stop to do that? Oh my God, I thought he could eat while walking like a normal human being. Never mind, we can't eat while walking. And the exceptionally bad news is I've sort of kited these guys back to my town now, which means I need to fight my way out. Get them all cleared before anything else goes wrong. Okay, so like, my corpse was down here. Yeah, just let me loot all my stuff real fast. Not a huge fan of corpse runs. Never been a mechanic that I find to be compelling. Hopefully you'll be able to disable it once the game actually comes out. Maybe you were able to when I was looking earlier. But I always turn it off in every single game because, I don't know. I feel like corpse walks is one of those things that were like old 10 years ago. And it's like, all right, we've done this enough. I still want whatever's inside your house, though. Like, if you think I'm just gonna fall back and not loot your home for everything that it's worth, you could not be more wrong. I'm definitely going to. I do like that we get cleaving, though, when we're fighting these guys. Makes me feel powerful. Makes me feel strong. Makes me feel loaded up for bear. Is there anything good in here? Oh, it looks like there's a dungeon or something. Wonder what's inside dungeons. What is that? Oh. I guess if you destroy things that are shiny, you learn how to make them. The Twin Crypt. Oh, hey, what's up, boys? How we doing over here? Do I have to destroy that to get them to stop spawning? How much HP does it have? There we go. No more bad guys rattling. Or is it worth destroying these right here, like the actual sarcophaguses? The sarcophaguses? Oh, it is. There's money in there. Hell yeah. Grave robbing's probably a little bit in poor taste, but it's the end of the world as we know it, and I do not feel fine. I feel like I'm gonna need more stuff in order to survive this cavalcade of violence. So let's get in. What's in the chest? Anything good? We've got another rusted copper asta, but it sells for 10 bucks. Some Globy, fried dough balls from cheese and semolina coated in honey. Cheese and honey, huh? Okay. Like, I can see the appeal of, like, the honey and the dough balls, but the cheese being added on in there is something that I raise an eyebrow at. Is semolina, like, I've never had semolina cheese. Maybe it just has to do with the fact that I have not been the quesadore that I could have possibly been, but I've never had semolina. So is semolina like a sweet desserty cheese? I keep it simple when it comes to cheeses. I stick to my provolones, my old provolognes, my cheddars, maybe get some jack in there, a little bit of Colby. That'd be pretty good. Like, I get down on, like, queso fresco and, like, some of those other, like, Mexican cheeses that go real good on tacos. But semolina, unfortunately, I am not experienced with. There's something going on down here. That's, like, one of the beefiest zombies that we've seen so far. Definitely chunkier than the rest. Can I have his helmet? He dropped coal, huh? He must have been bad on Roman Christmas. What did they call it? Saturnalia? Is that what they called Christmas? Is that where you just, like, burned a log and had, like, a giant orgy or something like that? And what does this do? The sign depicts an open fire on the ground. If I place a campfire, will the game be happy with me? I feel like that's what it wants. Am I solving like an environmental puzzle right now? Where'd my campfire go? There it is. So with the campfire, let's say that I place that right there. Oh. Okay, so now what happens? The beacon has been struck, but I know not what result it produced. Oh my god, I stumbled on a skill tree while looking around to see what the game gave me. So I got a favor point for like leveling up my wood chipping skill or my wood cutting skill. And so it looks like, oh yeah, dude, the lignator, the caniculator. That definitely sounds like a word that'll make you lose your job. But anyways, apparently we're much better at chopping down just rocks at this point, which will be helpful. I still don't know what that did. Maybe it just gave me like a big infusion of XP. I was unaware of the fact that this game had RPG components to it. Like, it's got a pretty sizable skill tree over there. That's a lot of pigs, dude. Yeah, I was gonna say, this might be one of the worst ideas that I've ever had. Maybe just like poke one every now and again. Like, hope we get a stab off here and there. There we go. We got one of them. Got that one too. I'm gonna need some food real quick. Doesn't look like they're aggroed anymore. There we go. That one's got 20. That one's got 20. That one's got 20. All these pigs are in pretty good shape right now. And I don't mean they've been hitting like the bench press. I mean that they've got like lots and lots of HP. And that's problematic. Maybe we just go around them. I found another one over here. Maybe we make another campfire real quick just to like bang it out while we're in the neighborhood. There we go. Throw that in right there. Does this one also want fire? Yep, it does also want fire. Looks like somebody tried to hold out because there's defensive walls over on this side that were not here before. I'll put you right there. And then we got more zombies headed towards us. Yeah, I would like to not get smashed right now. Perfect. You feel a presence in the skies above? Oh, maybe I'm summoning the boss. This is like getting the Slime King to spawn or something. They've got like that Terraria vibe going where you've got to solve a whole bunch of environmental puzzles that are all over the map. And then once you do that, it spawns in like that first boss. And then, of course, that first boss is going to like drop something. Can I mark this map at all? I can't mark this map at all, but this is the first clay pit that I've seen so far. It's kind of like down to the southwest. Oh, I guess it's marked right there. Okay, you can like kind of see it. Hey, I think I found another guy inside this satyr cage over here. Let's stab that satyr up real fast. Can I break the skull for anything? See if we can break him out of here real quick. That's made out of metal, though, so it's going to take a hot minute before we can get on through. On the plus side, we may get ourselves some scrap metal or something that could be useful later on. Hey, buddy. How we doing over here? We just chilling? Hold on. I got a whole bunch of these dudes over here that I got to, like, sort out. With the big one, how tough is the big one? Is the big one a problem? It doesn't look like much of a problem, and I got dinner out of the deal. Our circumstances are quite unique from a research perspective. Regardless, I'm looking for a safe home. Yeah, come back to my house with me real fast. I want to have a leather worker so that I can actually have a little bit of armor or something to make me feel safer. And also, apples. But we also have a satyr camp down here. Let's see. How many satyrs are down here? Oh, that one's got like a blow dart? Oh my god. Okay, take him out. Maybe he was like an archer. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Where'd he go? Man, these guys are tough to catch. There we go. Luckily, all they do is run, so like, not too much of a threat there. What's inside his cave? The Grotto of the Restless. Yeah, it does look a little restless inside of here. Like, it seems like not a whole lot of sleeping is going on. They got the glowy eye thing happening. I like the lighting effects. And actually, with the pixel art backgrounds, they've got that lined up and arranged pretty well, too. Just to look nice and actually give the ground a little bit of relief and texture. I think it looks good. Okay, so I gotta wait for regen real fast. Otherwise, this is not gonna work out for me. Take these dude. Oh, I aggroed another one, dude. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I messed up so bad. I messed up real bad. Regeneration, please. Regeneration, why? Oh my god. I like the enemy volume though, dude. I like how many enemies they throw at you. It actually makes the game feel a lot more intense, and the time to kill is generous enough that it feels like you're churning through hordes, which is the kind of gameplay that I like. Deep down inside my soul, I'm a Path of Exile player to the core. Oh my god. Okay. I need one of the spawners to go, dude. I need the spawner to go real badly. Unfortunately, it's just chilling up here with 1 HP. There we go. Less zombies to be dealt with, but if we get even, like, remotely touched right now, it's over for us. So I gotta slow play this, like, hard. Oh, no, that guy came out quick! Oh, I thought he was gonna get me right there, man. I thought I was toast for a second. Can I get back up here and put some damage on this before more of them spawn? I think we're going to need better weapons, or we're going to need throwables or something that I can throw from a distance. 2 spawners down. I'm scared to be near the spawners, though, because they pop out like that real aggressive. Perfect. Okay, so if I can get this spawner gone before they come back out again, I'll be happier than I currently am. Unfortunately, I am consigned to misery and sadness. We got a booby trap floor over here. Seems like... Oh, there's a bomb! Okay, yep, that would have been the kind of thing that I wanted to use in order to destroy zombies. What does this do right here? Does this do anything useful? Give you a little acid pit. Yeah. I had a feeling. I mean, the Boomer. A fairly standard zombie apocalypse enemy. He's big, he's fat, he's probably got some green smoke or something coming out of him. Oof. Wonder if I get better at fighting. I definitely get better at like lumber chopping and like mining and other little associated base craftings, like construction and whatnot, but I don't know if I get better at fighting over time. We do need all these spawners to go though. Okay, that one was nice and easy. There's got to be like a treasure chest down in here somewhere, dude. Is that ballista hostile? I don't know if the ballista's hostile. Is it going to try to shoot me? Yes, it absolutely 100% is going to try to shoot me. Okay, so if I take that right there and I chuck it that way, it didn't quite make it all the way. I was hoping it would make it over there so I could trigger it and maybe blow up the enemy, but nope, didn't happen like that. Does his explosion affect that guy? It definitely did. Okay, good to know. You can actually light off chain reactions and stuff. I'm gonna go around the left-hand side because I don't think I have like an effective way to fight that thing yet. I also need to eat some food. How many cooked meats do I have on me? We get well-fed. Yeah, that'll do it. Eat that cooked meat for the 20 HP. Perfect. And then we get even more health back over time. Nice. Okay. Oh god, they all chomped on me. Yeah, that's like the risky stab of the day. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna fall back for a second. I don't like what's happening here. Eat that meat, get a little bit of health back. Kind of gotta pace these guys out. There's like a rhythm to them. The only way that they're bad is if they're mixed in with other units that are constantly pressing up on you. That's really where they get a little bit mayhem driven. Let's go up this way. I also kind of feel like maybe... Oh, there's so many spawners up there. Okay, never mind. This is a terrible plan. Let's get the hell out of this dungeon because this will be my final grave if I stay here. I'm not hitting hard enough. With that many zombies and that many spawners, I think we need to be able to rely pretty heavily on the fact that we can one-shot. And right now, there is no one-shotting happening. Oh, we got zombie problems back at base. I just got back and I was considering what I wanted to do next, and then undead are now... Oh, she zaps him, dude! That's what I'm talking about. See, that's a god you can rely on right there. Not one of those whack gods where you spend all your time praying and then nothing happens. Give me the god that can summon thunderbolts, although I am going to point out that you wiped out my crafting bench. I'm going to give you a little bit of leeway because you're a god and I'm a little bit scared of you. But that having been said, let's try to keep the collateral damage to a minimum from now on, shall we? Maybe I'll put the workbench just alongside one of these houses. There we go. Do they go back inside at night? Doesn't look like they go back inside at night. Is he sleeping in here? Doesn't look like he's sleeping. He's just like hanging out next to the workbench doing whatever he does. And we have 3 lumber right there, which is nice. What's up with this dude, though? Like, what does this building do? Ooh, you can be a wizard. So he's got a bunch of stuff on offer right now. I'm just going to make, like, the basic gear and have him slam that out. What does the bedroll do? A simple alternative for a night's rest. Okay, I think I can live with that. We're going to have to wait a couple minutes until he gets done making our first set of equipment. Looks like he can make a Pelum quiver, too, so that I can throw Pelums at the enemy. He also gives me an ability called Cosmo Bolt, which costs me energy. What does it take to build that? We just, like, inscribe it. Yeah, make one of those, too. I'd like to have a ranged attack that constantly recharges itself so that I don't have to build ammo all the time. That would be nice. Looks like all my gear's done, so let's, like, see how we look when we're rocking this stuff. So I got, like, a little hood right there. And then I actually have, like, proper armor. And it doesn't look like, well, I mean, yeah, I can see like a breastplate or whatever. Oh, I like the little detail, like when you run for a little bit and then you stop, he's actually got to do a kick stop. Like, it's got a little bit of weight and momentum to it. Like, you can tell whoever the art team is for this game, they really went ham hog on this thing, making it look good and making it look spicy and making it look sexy. So that's really something you love to see. Can these just be eaten? Yeah, put those inside of there because I'm pretty sure we need to have some more food stores for the future. I'll put the Globy inside of there too. And let's go check out this magic spell real fast. Is the magic spell done? Yeah, dude. Put that in my offhand. And then is that just going to be on my right click? Ooh, it is. Nice, dude. And it recharges pretty fast too. Sweet. I've got myself magic. Is there anything new that I can build now that I've advanced a little bit further on into the game? I'm hoping the armor takes some of the chunk out of the damage that I've been taking too. What else can be built inside of here? So we've got farmland, a wooden cart. Yeah, that'd probably be helpful. I should probably make one of those just for picking stuff up and gathering. We've also got a mill right here. I would say put the mill next to that guy's house. That way we can start milling flour and getting that done. I don't know how we get more buildings. We're going to have to figure that out. I'm guessing like at the bottom of dungeons or something, there's going to be scrolls that we can find or maybe something like that that allow us to get there. But so far, so good. My observations about Romestead, I think that on the animation front and on the sound design and on the soundtrack and everything else, the game just drips with style. It's a really, really good-looking game by comparison to a lot of the contemporaries that are out there. From there, it's got a clear, concise, easy start start to the game. I do think that it drops you in a little bit abruptly. Hopefully in the finalized version, they thematically give you some kind of cutscene or something at the beginning that helps draw you into the atmosphere and helps draw you into the world of, like, how did a Roman zombie apocalypse happen? How did Rome fall to the undead? Was it like a necromancer spell? Is it just a thing that happened? Is it a virus? You know what I mean? I guess they didn't know what a virus was back then, but you kind of get what I'm saying. I would like a little bit more context as to what it is and how it is and like why it is we're doing what we're doing. I'm big on games like drawing me into their theme, and so that's really the main thing that popped out at me, but it seems to be a game that has like a lot of progression and a lot of things going on. We don't have any raids coming in just yet, but the game does expect us to build up defenses and things like that, and so it looks like there's a very, very large skill tree down here that's gonna make you pretty badass as you get further towards the end of the game. It looks like you get to specialize in various things like fighting with swords or fighting with magic. Looks like you get access to like new abilities like earthquakes getting lit off whenever you end your dash at the location that you're on. And so yeah, dude, sick little game. And it definitely looks great by comparison to a lot of other things out there right now. I love it when a team puts a lot of effort into their art style. And so my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with Romestead. Tomorrow we'll be messing around with something else. Thanks for hanging out with me. That's all I got for you, folks. Bye.